In this screencast, I'm going to show you how you can create a simple interactive computer program that displays a menu to the user and asks the user to choose a menu item, and then based on the choice that the user makes, the program will do different things. So let's consider a simple menu. So a menu could, for example, have three options. So the first option could be that the user should enter his name. Second option could be that the program should display a greeting. And the third option could be that we should quit the program. Right, so we want to create a program that displays a little menu like this, just a simple text-based menu, and then ask the users to choose menu option 1, 2, or 3. So we could ask, please choose a menu option. Right, and then after displaying this, the user should type in 1 or 2 or 3, and if I type in 2, for example, then you should and press enter, you should display the greeting. If I type 3, the program should end, and so on. So what I'm going to show next is how to create such a program so that we can generate menus in general that could have a different number of options and so on, and how we can error check that the user actually types in a number that corresponds to one of the menu items. Now we'll use two different functions, and the first function is described in the exercise material, and it's called input number. I'll just copy paste that into Matlab here and save it as a file, input number.m. Alright, so this function input number displays a prompt, that's a little text description to the user, and then it asks the user to type in a number, and then it will repeat until the user has typed in a valid number. So it uses an infinite while loop here, and then it uses the input function to ask the user to type in something. It converts that to a number using the string to double function, and saves the result in the variable num. Now if that is a number, and that's a number if the variable num does not contain the value nan, which means not a number. If that is a number, it will break and return the number that the user has typed in. And if it's not a number, it will just continue the infinite loop and ask the user again. So we can try it out. I can type x equals input number, and my prompt could be something like, please type a number. Now when I run the function here, my prompt will be displayed on the screen. It says please type a number, and I could type something in here. For example, if I type something that's not a number, it will just ask me once again. And once I type in something that is a number, the function ends and returns that value, and in this case stores that in the variable x. The second function we'll use is called display menu, and again we'll just copy paste that into Matlab like this, and we'll save that in a file called displaymenu.m. This function will display this menu and ask the user to choose one of the options. The display menu function takes in one input argument, which is a cell array containing strings for each of the menu items. What the function will do, it'll first display the menu options. So it uses the fprintf function to display out first a number, and then the string containing the description of that menu item, which it takes from this options cell array. Once the menu has been displayed, it will use an infinite loop to get an input from the user, which has to correspond to one of the items on the menu. So let's say there are 3 items on the menu, then we have to check that the user types in a number between 1 and 3. And this is what this while loop does. It starts by initializing the choice, which is the input from the user, to 0, which is clearly invalid. It has to be between 1 and 3. And so as long as choice is not equal to one of the numbers inside this array, which contains numbers from 1 to 3, if there are 3 menu options, then it will just continue this loop and ask for a number. And it asks for a number using this input number function we just looked at. So let's try it out. We can say choice, so I can call it X again, equals display menu. And now I have to give it my options. These options could be enter name, display greeting, and quit. Okay. So when I press enter, the function will display this menu, display these 3 menu items, and ask me to choose one item. If I type in something that's not a number, it'll just ask me again. If I type in a number that's not on the list, it will ask me again. But if I type in a number that's on the list, for example the number 2, it will return that chosen item. So it's guaranteed to return a number corresponding to one of the items on the menu. Now we can finally put everything together and create an interactive program. So let's create a new script and try this out. First, let us define the menu items we need. And I'll call that menu items. Enter name, display greeting, and quit. Here we go. So now I've defined my menu items for my program. Next we'll display the menu, so we can type choice equals display menu, menu items. So now I'll just pass in these items into the display menu function and display the menu. Now based on the user's choice, I can now do different things. So I could say if choice equals 1, then we will ask the user to enter a name. So I could type, for example, name equals input, please enter your name, like this. Now if the user types 2, chooses option 2, I can type else if choice equals 2, and in that case I will display the greeting. I will simply type, for example, disp name. Okay, so it'll just display this name value. And finally, else if choice equals 3, I will then quit my program. So for example, one way to make the program continue to run is I can put the whole thing into an infinite loop while true, like this. And then in the case that I type 3, I can simply break out of the infinite loop, like this. Okay. So this is almost done, this program, except that if I run the program and I choose option 2 to begin with, it'll try to display name. It doesn't have name defined, so I should probably define name all the way up here in the beginning. Name equals an empty string, for example. Sorry, the menu of course should be inside the infinite loop. And I'll just add some comments here. Just to show that's what each of these parts of the code does. So the code is a little bit easier to read if I do it like this, and I'll just comment the last here and say quit. Okay, so now I have a program all defined here, and I can now run it. And this program will display the menu, and I can continue working with the program as long as I want to. So I'll just save that in a file called program.m, for example, and now it'll run. So when it runs and displays the menu, I can start by typing in 1 to enter my name. It'll ask me to enter my name. Now it'll display the menu again. I can now display the greeting, and then it will just display my name, and it has done that here. I can type in a wrong number now, for example 7, which is not a menu item, and then it will just ask me to choose a menu item again. I can finally quit my program by typing 3, and then the program will stop. So that's it. That's how to create a simple interactive program using a menu, using these display menu and input number functions.